What's up? What's up? What's up, Cowboy Nation? It's your boy Roastar Sports coming to you live with a bit of information. Um, hey, look, subscribe to the channel, like the content, greatly appreciate it. You guys subscribing, greatly appreciate you guys watching, and let's get right into it. All right, so let's get at it. Um, Let me just say this first and foremost. I do not believe that one George Pickens will have the same output that he did against the Detroit Lions. I'm going to say that emphatically. But let me say this. I've listened to a lot of different analogies from Stephen A. Smith, who, by the way, was really sincere about what he observed about Pickens. I've listened to Shannon Sharp and Ocho Cinco. Heard Shannon Sharp try to demand an apology from George Pickens to Richard Sherman. Shannon Sharp is so far in left field it doesn't even make any sense to me, man. It just doesn't make any sense on a lot of bases. Just because he's so far in left field with this, it doesn't even matter what he says. And it is just the overall attitude that Richard Sherman took in calling Pickens' effort one with no energy, shall we say. Let me say this. I said that George Pickens need to show a little bit more umph because you don't know when you don't know if the play is going to break down to the point where your quarterback is going to be looking for the second target. I know he goes through his progressions. Read one, read two, read three. I get it. He going through his progressions, but based upon your effort, it could result in you getting the play because you are part of the play, whether or not you realize it or not. You are a part of the play. But let me say this: listening to a lot of the pundits, listen to a lot of the analysts throw Pickens in the mud. Hey, listen, let's not forget this dude has had a stellar year. Okay, this dude has showed up and showed out, and I'm not going to tear down one player just because of one game. Hell, CeeDee Lamb has had two that I know of games where he has dropped balls in a situation where it could have caused us to win the game. It could have put us in a position to put the game away. And we have CeeDee, but CeeDee has been such a good sport. George Pickens has been such a good sport that they have supported each other in their flaws or in their hiccups or mishaps. They have supported each other. And by God, we should do the same thing as it relates to our team. Win or lose or indifferent, whatever the case may be, or draw, we got to support our boys. Do we see certain things that's just crazy, that doesn't make sense to us on why they're doing these things? Yeah, absolutely we do. And do we call those things out? Yes, absolutely we do. But at the very bottom line, we are still Cowboys. We still gonna rock with our team. That's just the bottom line, no matter how you slice it or dice it. That's just the bottom line. That's what we gonna do. And, we just gotta support our team no matter what these analysts say. And yes, Pickens has been raked through the coals, but at the end of the day, we got to rock with our boys. And me personally, I am on Eberflus like no tomorrow, and a whole plethora of Cowboy Nation is on Eberflus because of how he's handling our defense. It's just what it is. And George Pickens is not Eberflus. Eberflus boo-hooed and crapped this up, man. He stunk up the place from game one. Game one. We ain't seen no difference except for we added a few players on the front line, and he burnt out those players in the first half of the game. He burnt them out. And dare I say that they should have put more pressure and blitz packages against Goff to make him quite uncomfortable, which we know from the Rams days that Goff does not like to get rattled, hit, pressured. He don't like it, and he performs like it. So I don't know what tapes and film Eberflus was watching, but I'll get to that in a minute. Let's just get back to the Pickens. There is to the rescue of this George Pickens, who made hellified sense in terms of what he said as it relates to George Pickens' effort, dare I say, his effort. And I'm going to go to that very quickly so that you can identify. I'm not even going to try to deal with Shannon Sharp. I'm not even going to deal with him. Shannon Sharp is, in my view, Shannon Sharp is gone. You know, the boy gone, man. It ain't no bringing him back. He is a cowboy hater in his blood. And much like Stephen A. Stephen A. May be a cowboy hater, but I don't think Stephen A. as much as a cowboy hater as he is. He doesn't like the Cowboy fans. But Shannon Sharp, it makes me wonder whether or not Shannon Sharp is mad the Cowboys didn't draft him, or whatever the case may be. That I don't know, but I want to play for you. I think this is right. What Steve Smith said about George Pickens. I think this is right. Let me double check. Just want to let me get back to it. I don't think that's it. I think this might be it.
JP Morgan is the sixth man off the bench.
I don't want to hear anything about JP Morgan. See if we can get this on right quick. Okay. All right, let's see. Okay, I think I got it. Here we go. Let's see.
8 receivers, played receiver at Stanford, played it in high school as well. But he didn't play wide receiver in the pros, and I didn't play corner in the pros.
Now he's talking about Richard Sherman.
That an individual seemed disinterested. So what did I do? I went back and watched the game. Okay. Rewatched it.
Okay, so he's talking about rewatching the game of the Lions and the Cowboys. And this is what he has to say.
I just watched George Pickens play. I watched him on run games, very heavily involved, came down, tried to crack the safety several times. There's a lot of people who are taking shots at George Pickens for reasons that the same thing that I've talked about last week. Man, when you're not on the sideline and you don't actually hear what the conversations are going on, man, a video, we say a picture is worth 1,000 words. Can I tell you something? Mm-hmm. A video will make 10,000 words confusing.
So, shout out to my man, Let's Talk Cowboys. I really appreciate my brother. I think we about around the same age or so, somewhere around in there. But I really, really appreciate him giving us this information. But let's break this down. So, Steve Smith is talking about pictures versus video, and even videos, when you're looking at it, it'll bring you in an awe moment in terms of what you are viewing, from schematics to the play calling to what his assignment is on the play, what routes he's running on the play. But even though the routes, and I've shared with you, even though in the routes, you still want to make sure that your routes are crisp to the point that you're, one, selling the play, selling your route. Two, in the event that your quarterback is in trouble, at least you're giving your quarterback an option. And it just could very well be that you run the crisp route on that particular play, on a said play, that you are the target that the quarterback could be looking for based upon the defensive pressures, the defensive packages, what the defensive scheme could be. So it's a lot that plays into it. But even though you see how Stephen Smith defuted the accusation and the overall approach of Richard Sherman, to say that you're looking at the frame of a picture versus the entire scope of what is taking place from the perspective of one play to the next. And so, having said that, George Pickens, man, based upon his response, it pretty much goes hand in hand in what he said about the play calling and about what Richard Sherman said based upon what the coaches or the scheme is for that particular play or said plays. He has said time and time again in interviews that he's not in control of the play calling. Which is to say, I would love to have the ball coming to me, 100 out of 100 times, 100 out of 100 times. But that's just not the case. Okay, that's not the case. So he said, don't blame me. Blame what was practiced. And like you said, Fuller had one hell of a game, over 100-yard game. He did his thing. But at the end of the day, here's where I like to get on the coaches. I want to get on the coach, especially Shadi Too Hottie. Hey, listen, you got to get him going. Okay? Enough of, we saw this with Jason Garrett. We saw this with McCarthy. We've seen this time and time again where you start going away from your playmakers and you start doing something totally different than what you've done in the previous 3 games. Dare I say 4 games, because that's where it started. But you've done some things in this Lions game that were totally against the success and the nuance of our offense. And it is up to you to make that offense go. And so if CeeDee Lamb has gone out with a concussion for the rest of the game, I think that was the beginning of the 3rd quarter. It is now time for you to go to that dude when CeeDee Lamb hurt his leg, his ankle, okay, and you went to George Pickens. It's time. He's now the go-to. So you got to flip the script and be ready for whatever. Just imagine if George Pickens go down, then what you going to do with CeeDee Lamb? You're going to do the same thing. So, man, it is up to this offense, these coaches, to get these boys ready to play. You got your quarterback yelling at you, saying, go for it. Go for it. It is 4th and 4. It is 4th and 3. And you're kicking field goals, but then at the end of the game, guess what our coach says? Shoddy too hotty. He says, well, I think we kicked too many field goals. You think? You think? Field goals are great, but touchdowns are going to win games. Yes, field goals win games in certain situations, but you are letting your team down when you're not putting them in the proper position to win the game. The Cowboys were at within 3 points, two times in the game, of striking distance to tying the game up. When is it ever going to be a time to lean on your defensive coordinator during the game? Like Prime does, like Dion does. He holds his coaches accountable during the game. See, that's why I would like Dion to be a head coach somewhere. Not necessarily saying Dallas, but to be a head coach, because he doesn't mind holding everybody accountable during the game. During the game. I need you to get it going, because see, I'm the kind of person, look, what my mama always said, wherever you did it at, that's where I'm gonna get you at. That's my mama. That's how she used to tell us as kids. Don't go in a grocery store showing out, asking for this and asking for that. Because if you show out, wherever you do it at, that's where I'm gonna get you at. So it's the same philosophy that needs to take place on the football fields with these head coaches. You want to be the head coach? You are the head coach, not just of the players, but you are the head coach of your staff. You're the HNIC. You are in control of everybody. Okay? You the president. So it's time for you at that particular time to pull your defensive coordinator aside and say, hey, this ain't working. We're going to have to change some things up now to win this ball game. We are in striking distance, and it is time that we begin to change some things up. Send multiple blitz packages to get this boy rattled, to get them off the football field, because I need my offense on the football field ASAP. That's coaching. That's coaching one-on-one. So I don't know. I don't want to hear about Shotty Too Hotty and Eberflus coming after the game saying, talking about the recipes to woulda, shoulda, couldas. I don't even want to hear anything about that. All I want to hear is the success that we're going to win these 4 games in a row that's left, that are doable, easable games to win. I know easable not a word, but I just made that up. But it sounds good. Easable ways of winning these 4 games that's left. We got Minnesota. We got the Chargers, we got Commanders, and we got the Giants. All 4 of these games, we can knock them upside the head. Don't make no difference. I don't want to hear no ifs, ands, or buts. So news is also coming out that CeeDee Lamb may be playing in this game. He has a couple days to go to get through concussion protocol to make sure there's no symptoms, make sure that there's no setbacks, nothing that is that would cause him not to perform healthy regularly. And so we are looking to see whether or not CeeDee Lamb is going to suit up on Sunday night. But we'll see. We'll keep that information handy for you a little later. I'm trying to be on just a little bit more so that I can get my numbers up. I've been working. I got a dump truck that I'm trying to get going, and I need that truck going because there's a lot of things that I want to do here that I'm just not able to do. A lot of guys are using modern day toasters to vamp in a video before I start talking. I don't have that capability. They got a lot of different packages, and if you know some things, email me roastarsports@gmail.com. I think that's what it is, whatever. But email me, and if you don't, I'm gonna put it inside of the description what the email is. Email me some ideas. I'm welcome to your ideas so that I can make this platform a little bit more viewable, appeasing to you, so that my numbers can get up. I know a lot of you guys like the little theatrical introductions and all that stuff, but I'm doing the best that I can with what I got. But nonetheless, that's what I see as relates to the offense. Week after week, I wasn't completely disappointed with the offense. I just think the offense was just trying some things that they shouldn't have been trying right now. I think they were stretching a little bit too much. I don't think that they overall maximize their potential or maximize their capabilities in this game. Now, let's just keep in mind also that we had some injuries on the offensive line, which calls for pressure on Dak Prescott to throw the ball prematurely. The interception, there's just some things there. But even though that was the case, let me just give credit where credit is due. Dak Prescott read the defense very, very good. Dak Prescott handled himself in that game very, very good. And I suspect moving forward that Dak Prescott is going to progress. I just see Dak in a different mindset. I see Dak in a mind of calm. He's seeing the field. The game has tremendously slowed down for him. So I really see Dak Prescott pressing to get to the playoffs. And I know a lot of people don't want to talk about it. I'm just one that's going to talk about it. Our offense is too good. I think, before I say that, I think Tyler Guyton is going to be back for Sunday. I think we're going to get some help on the offense of line. That's going to help us moving forward the way we used to be in these past 3 games. Now, let me say this about Steele. Look, man, Terrence Steele, I've said it before in the past. I'm saying it again. It's time that we address that right tackle position. It's time that we address it. We should have addressed it a long time ago, but it's time to address that position. We need a stud over there in that position. I can't think of the tackle that the Philadelphia Eagles have on that right side, but let me say this, and I'm not a hater, but I'm just letting you know what I see in terms of football play, position, who's good and who's not. That brother over there in Philly at that right tackle position is a stud. Okay, DeMarcus Lawrence had issues with him. Okay, he's a stud. We need somebody like him over there on that side. That's the bottom line. We need some. That's a weak link for the Dallas Cowboys, and they need to address that. And if Guyton can't get himself together, then we need to address that too. But he so far has he's come around, shall I say. Let me say that. He has gotten better than what I've seen previously. The past couple of games, I really didn't hear anything about Tyler Guyton except for that trip that he did. In one of the games that he played, he did a trip. But other than that, I haven't heard anything significant about his play. He's been real solid over there. I think that overall, the Dallas Cowboys are going to be fine moving forward. My only major concern is going to be that of our defense. I'm not concerned about the front 4. I'm concerned about what Eberflus is going to do with the secondary to help to help our front 4 get pressure on these quarterbacks. That's what I'm concerned. Now, the biggest concern within that package is going to be Revel and Bell. Revel and Bell, brothers, y'all got some issues, man. And your issues are you can't cover. Now, we can't help ourselves with DaRon Bland. DaRon Bland and Wilson, Donovan Wilson, let me just say that whole secondary is going to need, well, let me say this. Before I say that, let me say this. I think that I'm not going to say really overhaul the whole secondary. I will say that there are some pieces that you can add to the secondary because we do have Overshown playing pretty good. Logan, I like Logan. I would like to see Logan in more run packages. I like to see Logan in more bumping run packages with the tight ends a little bit more, because I seen some key pieces or key plays in last week's game where I'm wondering, where the hell is Logan? Why isn't Logan in the game? And every time Logan is not in the game, they're going to that spot where Logan should be, and they are killing us. We need Logan in the game more. So I would say the Cowboys just need to add a few more pieces in the secondary, preferably a strong safety and another corner that can be a dominant force. Now, it's all going to be contingent upon what the Cowboys are going to do with Trayvon Diggs. Diggs is expected to play against the Vikings. He is expected to play against the Vikings. He was expected to play against the Lions, but I don't know. We don't know the details in terms of what happened. I have to do a little more research to find out why that didn't take place and bring that to you. But from my hearing, Diggs is expected to play against the Vikings on next Sunday night. So let's prepare for that. But with that being said, I think it will give us a help, because they're going to need some help with somebody, because they are going to try to force the ball to their wideout, Jeffries. They're going to try to force the ball to Jeffries, and that could be a major opportunity for the Cowboys to try to get some INTs to get the ball back to the offense to start putting some points in these boards. Now, let me say this. The Cowboys definitely need to start fast. They need to start fast. They cannot afford to start melancholy. They can't afford to start slow. They need to start fast. They need to start putting points on the board ASAP, fast. And on top of that, put this quarterback under duress with some blitz packages, man. This is what they need to do, point blank, period. First, let's get this W under our belt. Let's win this game and get ready for the Chargers and handle business with them as well. So, I've been on here for a little while now, almost 30 minutes. I just wanted to get that off my chest about that. There was something else I want to talk about. Also, let's look at this special teams issue that the Cowboys have had for the past 2 games. I do not know, for the love of me, what in the foosball is going on with Turpin. If somebody can answer that question, I wouldn't have any problems, but I need to find out what is going on with Turpin. Turpin is not seeing the field. Turpin is not seeing lanes. Clearly, why are you heading into contact when you over here got a clear lane to run up the sidelines free? I don't know what is going on with his vision, because one thing about a running back will not be effective if he doesn't have a vision. I played it, and I learned from the best watching them play. Tony Dorsett had vision. Walter Payton had vision. The Eagles running back, Ricky Waters, had vision. Okay, these brothers that I'm naming, there's a whole plethora of them that you can name that had vision. I'm just naming some key, because a lot of people sleep on Ricky Waters, but Ricky Waters was like that. Ricky Waters was like that with his vision, and especially when you look at the 99-yard runs, these guys, man, they can see things in their peripheral that everybody is not seeing, whether it's here or it's here. They seeing it. I know the play is designed in the zero hole, but I see daylight in my peripheral, and I'm going there. See, whether you are running back, whether you are a receiver, catching the ball on kickoff return, punt return, that's the reason why that what made Dion so dangerous. Billy White Shoe Johnson made him dangerous. My boy, what is his name? Devin Hester made him dangerous because they have vision. They have vision. They can see and they can depict, where I want to go. I know the play is designed here, but I see something tasteful over here, and I'm going to get it. So, these guys, man, I don't know what Turpin is going through, what ooh wee he had or something. But I tell you what, man, he got to get on point. And what is going on with the defense? Because man, that game where the Jets game where they was lighting them boys up, man, I'm like, this special teams is special. And they've gone away from being aggressive, being, man, to tackle, covering. I'm like, what is going on? They gave up over 100+ yards against the Lions. The Lions averaged at the 40-yard line. Averaged. That's crazy. So you gave the Lions a short field 80% of the game. 80% of the game. 80% of the game you gave them short field position. That's bad. That's terrible. That's terrible. That's horrible. And on the tail end, our guy is only averaging about 10 to 15 yards per punt return or kickoff return. Terrible. Terrible, man. So the Cowboys got some things that they got to clean up. So it's not all pretty, but they have some things they got to clean up, and I suspect that they will clean these things up to get ready for Minnesota. And another thing that needs to be addressed is the penalties. The Cowboys penalty was more penalized this game than they have in the previous three, and that's another thing they have to get under their belt. I've saw Pickens do a bonehead penalty. Ferguson's bonehead penalty. Ferguson's had multiple bonehead penalties in this game, but that I'm gonna tell you one thing that the referees and they blew this up. That one play that changed the course or the direction of the game was the swim move that Ferguson did on the cornerback, and you called a penalty on him for that. That was game changing, and that cannot happen. That cannot happen. That cannot happen, man. And so we lost the game, but we're moving now towards another stretch because Philadelphia has kept the window open of opportunity open for the Cowboys to take the division. And we have to be grateful for that. We're hoping that San Francisco can give us some help, which, I think they will. But we'll see. Our destiny is still in our own hands. We got to win 4 straight, and that's just the bottom line. We can't drop Nathan. We can't drop nothing. We have to win these 4 games and win them out. It's going to be interesting coming down to the stretch. But I suspect that our Cowboys, Cowboy Nation, will get in by hook or crook. I know a lot of teams don't want us in there because they know what havoc we can cause. They don't want us in there, but let me tell you, I believe that the Cowboys will make the playoffs. And you can call me an optimist, you can call me crazy, delusional, which I ain't know. I'm far from being delusional. I called the Chargers to beat the Eagles. The Eagles better be careful with the Raiders. And they will drop against the Bills. And the Cowboys, bar anything crazy, if they went out, we got the division. That's just the bottom line to it. Hey, look, I'm Roadstar Sports. I got a whole lot more, but at the end of the day, I'll be back with another take at around 7:30. I'm going to look at some more things because I got some pressing stuff that I want to share with you guys a little later. Hey, how about them Cowboys? 4, and we in. Peace. Subscribe to the channel, like the content. Really appreciate you. Hey, I'm out.